And as we begin this brand new year, I wanted you to have the opportunity to meet a brand new friend to you, and I hope for you, but an old friend and a good friend to Sharon, my wife, and me, and that is Beth. And Beth, we've known each other for a number of years, got acquainted through my former organization, Equip. You guys planted a church in Kalamazoo, Michigan, how many years ago?
23 years ago, 24 years ago this year.
And your husband, Jeff, was in business before that, I believe.
Yep. He was in the commercial and industrial lighting business, and then God called him to leave the business world and to plant a church.
And today, if we drive there, I've been there, beautiful facility right on Interstate
I-94.
I-94, which is between Chicago and Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful piece of property.
Yeah.
And then when I go there, thousands of people are there every weekend and celebrating. You and Jeff co-pastor that church. How does that work?
You know, it's been awesome. It's kind of been like a family. You know, there's a mom and a dad, and we're a team just like in the home. And our church family, it's the same exact thing. It's been really healthy, I think, for our church to see both the mom and the dad have a pretty high profile. And obviously Jeff is the senior pastor, the senior leader, but I'm right there with him. And it's been great for the other men and the other women in the church.
Well, you have also given this world 4 fantastic kids who are now adults.
Yeah.
And is everyone married now?
No, 2 engaged, 1 married, 2 engaged. And then the baby, Eric, we're just holding on tight to him.
Yeah, we're not going to let him get
married. No.
So talk to us about the kids, where they are, and some are involved in ministry with you.
Yeah, actually in this season, it's a great season. First of all of our kids love you, as you know.
Well,
they have
sweet.
high regard for you and for your wife, Sharon. But
thank you.
All the kids are on staff with us at church, and they all have a sense of call to ministry, which is just a complete God thing, and it's a great season. Our oldest daughter does all the creative arts. Our second daughter does middle school. Our third child, Luke, leads worship, and our baby helps with video production.
Beth,
so it's great.
It's a great family, very handsome group of folks. And they love God, they really do, and they love their parents.
Yeah.
How did the writing thing start? Because I mean, we're talking today about what your 20th book. Where did this start for you? Because when I met you, we met each other in New York City, I think, for the first time at a conference. You are already well established then. How many years ago did you start, sitting down and typing or writing out and making books?
Well, it was 1988. I was pregnant with our first child. And, growing up, I never saw myself as a writer. I didn't even think about writing. I wanted to be a dentist. But I was the one who always wrote letters. I was the one who, always wrote letters to my parents and wrote letters to my friends from college. So I realized back then there was this writing thing in me. But it wasn't until the late 80s I felt this real prompting from God to start writing some training books. A lot of my stuff is curriculum-based. It's training, teaching kind of books.
Small group.
And so I began to write. The first book came out in 1994, and it was called Getting a Grip on the Basics, a discipleship tool. And then from there, God's just led me to write a bunch of stuff.
And that Getting a Grip has kind of become a brand for you, has it not?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a website that people could go to find your products?
Yes, absolutely. All of our stuff is at jeffandbethjones.org.
That's easy.
That's easy. And our tagline, really what we feel we're called to, is helping people get the basics. That's really what we feel is the thing we're strong in and want to help people get.
Here we are in a brand new year,
Yeah.
and you're going to have a teaching segment in the next half hour, and we'll throughout the week. Give us a thought or two as people are facing a brand new year. What are you writing or thinking about as the old year ended and the new year begins?
Yeah. Well, right now, even in our church, the series that we're in, it's called What's Your Story? And it just seems like there's such an interest in story, in the whole narrative thing. The power of a movie, the power of a novel. Mm-hmm. And so we're taking that metaphor and looking at how does it relate to our personal lives? What's the character arc for our lives? And in fact, you had connected me to a novelist back in the day who introduced me to this whole concept of the hero's journey, the character arc in fiction, but the parallel in our Christian lives as well.
Yeah. One of the things I think about when I see people with tattoos, there's a story. In fact, I've been in some churches where they had tattoo day and people have an open mic and people come and just tell their story. Because everyone does have a story.
Yeah, everybody's got a story. And somebody said it this way, they said the characters with the most flaws have the best stories.
Yes, very true.
Because there's such a space for transformation. It's interesting, it's fun, so that's good for all of us.
And people can identify with.
Right.
Well, Beth, we're glad that you're a part of our story at 100 Huntley Street this week. We look forward to you being here and sitting side by side and standing side by side, and people get to know you. And thanks again for the work you're doing in the kingdom of God.
Thanks, appreciate it.
It's
Great to be here.
It's an honor to have you.